What's up?
It's been as long as it took Roblox to get sued for child endangerment ever since the Easter Toons got new skins. So I thought that if there's a time for me to create another video about the seasonal toons, design some new skins to the probably 30,000 skins to come out for the Easter update, it would be now. Yes. I am a person of many varying motivations, and a person who has 10% nuggets in their bloodstream because all of my breakfasts for the past 2 months start with air fryers and water. So, let's start with the butterfly that does not actually fly. The ultimate deceiver. Or so you may have thought, but it was I, Naze annnnnd, who shall shatter the mirrors and reveal the smoke, concealing a perilous truth. Flight is indeed butter, but it's twisted. It's a fly! Insert overused explosion gif right here! Okay, so I'm actually making a skin for flight. Yeah. So first off, he's not a butterfly. That's the thing that I started with, right? So instead, I decided to use inspiration for once in my life and base him off of the fluffy moth. A specimen indeed. To this day, I still wonder how this little corn puff flies, so... Oh dear! I can't use all my dark and edgy colors for this design. How my choices have led down a path of endless psychological pain! I can't hot topicify this sad, sad man. So first, I consider giving him layers, like an onion. First drafts were like a giant fluffy trench coat with the bagel plastered on top, with some vaguely wing patterns sprinkled about. Unfortunately, introducing layers kinda killed the design. For this design, I would rather shave my head off than get rid of the layers. So I scrapped the giant woolly trench coat idea and instead went for, essentially, a giant white tree. I made the first onion layer lighter since, yes, and then made the bottom slightly darker cause, yes, and then I added a pale yellow because yes. Please understand my reasoning. Since the fluffy moths have beady black eyes, I at first incorporate that aspect by making Flight a panda. It looked awful in execution, so I scrapped that and now he can match Eggson in the retirement home. The glasses I was referring to, so... Last touch was adding pom-pom strings to the top piece of the outfit. It's a requirement in jacket designs. Get my idea, hopefully. So anyway, here's your puffy man, guys. Bassie. The amount of trouble you and your 400,000 types of flowers gave me when I tried to decide what kind of flower I wanted you to be. I first wanted to base Bassie off of this flower named Gloria Mundi. I'm confused. Do flowers have enough rights to have last names, or do I not realize it's 2026? Is my IQ below 40? In the end, I gave up on the flowers really quickly. I was always more into snakes and tarantulas or Pokemon as a kid. Except, I didn't actually base it off of any snake or spider. No. I was swept under the wave of the sad, edgy teenager phase aesthetic, and thus began drawing my emo dreams onto this poor little Bassie. In other words, Bassie stepped into Hot Topic, and then she was never seen again. Okay, so looking at this design with more hindsight than I actually have, it looks like Jinx. What a funny coincidence. I was thinking of Ramona flowers. Literally. For the colors I unleashed all of the pent-up sadness I had when designing Flight's strictly cookies and cream color palette. I used dark blue. I used the edgiest pink on the whole planet of color theory. I used mustard as a cohesive accent, and then topped off the emo salad with the muted blue they use in sad lo-fi music loops for 10 hours. It is the design of all time. I counted up all the colors I used, and honestly, the people that only use 4 colors in a design would puke all over me. 9. The amount of times Twisted Louie has ended my run after I run a sharp corner and bump into Louie waiting there at the other side. 9 is not a bad number. It is the serial designation of 9S, and the name of that one fox from that one Sonic show that was pretty good. The only reason why 9 is an acceptable amount of colors to use is because I balance out the usage. There's mostly the dark blue, the sad pink, and Bassie's skin. Those are the main colors in the design, and probably the 3 colors you could dumb the whole thing down to. While I use the other colors sparingly so they don't overtake the 3 colors. In other words, hierarchy! I've established a fair monarchy in my Jinx clone Bassie's skin.
Oh, Father Xmas, will stars meet fading blues, the endless morrow, forming sparkling speckles not quite gazed upon thy average folk to the wheels of lady life's endless pursuit towards futures unseen. Please, give me ideas for this wrinkly yoke, Father. All I have is
Vaguely 1950s. Quite obvious by now that I didn't abide by the whole Easter tunes need to be Easter themed shtick. Creative freedom is a thing earned, not something you just, get. Clearly, I have enough stories to tell as Eggson, despite the fact that Eggson has told approximately 0 stories of his egg-robbing adventures. The grandpa he is. I bet his eggshell's made out of plastic. Honestly, I should probably just talk about the skin. I thought I was so slick giving him a folded undershirt and then a shirt over the high belt. Cause, old people clothes. Almost resembling the floral walls or the floppy disk or the telephone with enough holes to freak out someone with tripod phobia. It's funny, really. If I recolor this design, it could pass off as Peter Griffin. I'm an extraordinarily creative person. The funny thing is, I actually had a solid base of colors. I had a plan. I had everything I needed. And it was all gonna run like clockwork as I laid those colors down. But no, I just had to blow it up. Color scheme was too similar to the I Manly Banger skin 12 tees. As I finalized my colors, me, and my pride, and my ego, I just had to be the man. If I would have done my job, known my place, then I'd be fine with the design that also looked like the Showtime skins. Honestly, that monologue was just a way for me to shoehorn another reference in these videos. Okay, but other than the colossal failure that is my mind trying to come up with an original color palette, I did add some things. I looked up types of eggs and then added white circles to the shell of Eggson's head to resemble a quail egg. I also gave some vaguely circle patterns to the shirt. To make Eggson as dapper as he should be, I gave him red and yellow tinted glasses. So now, he can flex the Flight's dark brown glasses that Flight probably can't even see out of. And, I also added the nondescript fabric to his left for no intended purpose. And then to the final Easter tune, Coco. Does she even know that Bassie's deathly envious of her, or is she just gonna remain oblivious as she continues on her grandiose journey of trying to be useful to the air and to every single breathing thing? You and your characters with interesting setups. So, I actually had a plan this time. And flowers. You remember the flowers that I was supposed to base Bassie off of? But because I stretched my brain out too hard, I went completely emo. During this journey, I had considered water lilies over the Gloria Mundi. But as I concepted all these ideas in the darkest hour of the night, I gave up. But those ideas never went away. They're all in here. I had a thought. What if Coco also took Bassie's aesthetic? If Coco wasn't busy enough unintentionally trying to make Bassie feel useless all the time, why not also take the bits of identity she feels she has left? Out of all the skins I've made for this video, this one's probably the closest to resembling Easter. I've never been an Easter person, probably because I was more interested in Roblox egg hunts than actually going outside as a kid. 2016 to 2018 egg hunts were great, because they were the ones that I can remember the most. If only Roblox can pay developers to make more egg hunts on that caliber. But also, Roblox got sued by 7 different countries, so maybe it's no longer a plan. Main thing in this design was the water aspect cranked up to 100. Coco has no ears. I replaced them with the water shaped like ears. Unless she's like a lizard and has holes on the side of her head, then she is officially deaf. This was a way of me adding the water to the lily. I think that it also made Coco seem rather magical. Which, I think it would be cooler than having a whole ecosystem on your head. Yeah, Bassie? You got reported. That's all the designs for this video. I had quite the doozy trying not to create edgy skins. Like, guys, my YouTube persona is already bordering on edgy. I use triangles religiously in my freaking avatar. My whole outfit is the darkest shade of blue. I have bright claws. It's a miracle I managed to make 3 designs I didn't use a color acting as black or black itself. Will I be able to continue this streak? Find out in the next episode on Disney Channel. Brr.